Hey, what's up? How you
What's up?
doing? Welcome to my podcast. Are you excited today?
I'm excited. Episode one.
Episode one of Call Niche if you the if and the dot 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 means if you need somebody to talk to, if
Mm-hmm.
you need assistance with something,
Mm-hmm.
if there's anything in your mind that you probably think I can help you with, you can call Niche.
Okay. I like that.
You like that?
Yeah.
This is not your average podcast. Um, it's gonna be fun.
Gonna be great.
It's going to be great. We're going to be talking about the importance of mental health and mental wellness. I feel like that's important now in these days. And as a mental health professional, um, there's so many topics that we can discuss when it comes to mental health.
Right.
Um, you know, and I'm always good for positive affirmations, introducing verses. I would love to share some scriptures with everybody, so that would be great. So, yeah.
Tell them a little bit about yourself.
Well,
What to expect.
let's talk about me, Nesha, right? So, my name is Aneshia. I was born in Brooklyn, New York, in the 90s. Could say that's one of the most powerful sections in Brooklyn. Let me not toot my own horn.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm a mental health professional. Um, I work with intellectual and developmental and autistic individuals, and I'm pursuing my career in counseling. Um, being from Brooklyn and coming of Jamaican and British descent is important for us to understand how mental health works and how it is important to be mentally healthy in this community in this time and age. Coming from rough parents that we came from, and they taught us to just man up and keep it going, but they never really focused on what was important to us and how we felt. And our feelings are very important,
Always important.
always important. So I'm always here to give a helping hand. What about you? Introduce yourself.
What about me? Okay, great. Well, first of all, my name is Jamal. The legend from Brooklyn. I'm from Brooklyn, New York. You already know the vibes. Um, I'm a photographer. I've been doing it for 12 years. Have my own business too as well. So it's called Winners Are Remembered. So
I love that.
for me, thank you. For me, what I spend most of my time doing is trying to get back with the art that I create, and with the things that I do, I try to get back to the community as much as I can elsewhere. So my brand, Winners Are Remembered. I don't want to speak too much. It's on your show, but
It's okay. I know
um,
mine.
it's basically associating the winners, right? We
We're
we
all
only remember
winners.
the winners,
Yes, we
and
are.
I focus on the winning mentality of the whole aspect, not just the results. So I feel like once you have that winning mentality, you can always win in life. So that's why I made that business. That's why I created that name. As far as photography goes, I've been doing photography since I was 9, but professionally I've been doing it for 12 years. So
Oh, look at that.
um,
You're great at it, I should say.
thank you, thank you. So I take photos for celebrities. I do stuff for brands. I do stuff. I do portraits, weddings, you name it. Like I'm a jack of all trades. The most joy I get out of it really is just seeing people smile, seeing people happy.
That's the best part.
Right. Some people go into it for the attention, for the clout. I go into it with the intent of trying to make a difference. And I like giving back, so I feel like that's my way of giving back is to, in a sense, serve others with what I'm doing. So, um,
That's a really great look, especially in today's society,
right.
especially as Black entrepreneurs.
Mm-hmm.
It's always good to give back to those who may not have the knowledge or may not
Right.
have any support.
Absolutely. And I do want to add what you said. I do think what you're doing is a great cause. Especially for like people that are like autistic and things like that. Like you're making a difference because there's so many people out there that can be viewed in a certain way as a stigma. You know what I mean? And sometimes we don't give them the help that they need, or we don't treat them how they're supposed to be treated because a word or
Right.
how they behave. And
Right.
I just think that everybody deserves to have love. Everybody deserves to have care and
Yes,
support.
they do.
And I don't think we should evade or purposely move from somebody because of what they, are dealing with.
I
We all deal
agree.
with things. So it doesn't have to, we don't have to be, in a sense, like everybody else, but we all have our own challenges too.
Right.
So I feel like, people like you make a difference in the world. And I appreciate all that you do.
I appreciate that. This is just the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
And just like you want to give back. I'm all about giving back.
Mm-hmm.
I've had a lot of people that poured into me growing up, that supported me,
Mm-hmm.
that motivated me and kept me going through some tough times. And I want to do the same for others.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure that I'm able to even give back to my godchildren and even show them a good role model, my nieces, my nephew, just, even them, the kids.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, others, everybody out there that even needs assistance or they struggle, they don't know where to turn to or they don't know who to turn to or they don't know how to even think about these things.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reason why I want to give back. That's another reason why this podcast is so important because even that little information could help the
Right.
person that least expected. So that's really good. Thank you, though. I appreciate that.
Anytime.
Anytime. How has your 2024 been treating you?
It's been treating me great.
I'd love to hear that.
It's been treating me great. Honestly, it's been it's been 50-50 to be honest. But lately though, it's been treating me great.
Lately.
And what I mean by is it's just the mentality of the whole thing, where some days might not be the best, but as long as you can look towards it, it's always going to be a better tomorrow. So
That's all right.
there's a lot of things that I personally did for my New Year's resolutions that have been going the right way.
Okay, so wait. So you're a person that's actually following through your New Year's resolution?
Absolutely.
Okay. I like that for you.
It was a challenge at first,
Of course, it's always a challenge.
but then,
Okay. It's February, though. We'll see.
I mean, I'm doing good. I'm doing better than how I started the year.
Okay, I love that.
So,
I love that for you.
Exactly.
Okay, great.
So, a couple of distractions here and there, but you know what they always say, right? Sometimes when the chicken crossed the road, you got to figure out why the chicken crossed the road.
Is it? That's what they say? Who said that?
I just made that up. But it sounds great, though, right?
Does it? Okay,
Yes.
we're gonna skip past that.
So,
because
basically what I'm saying is sometimes, when the chickens come to roost, right, you got to avoid the distractions. You got to figure out how to get across that street.
okay,
You don't have to look back. I'm talking about the distractions. This is the metaphor for distractions.
I'm getting there. I'm
okay?
getting there with you.
Right.
It's
so
it's
you don't
clicking.
have to look back, because when you look back, ain't nothing there, right? If you look left, you look right, the pathway clears up, you cross the street to get to your destination.
Okay, I like
Now,
that.
if you keep looking left when you're crossing, you're going to get hit by the right side because it's the blind side. But if you see both ways, you know where to go in your path.
I love that. However, the chicken crossed the road just to get to the other side, though. But I love your analogy of getting across to the other side, though. Not paying attention to distractions, looking left and right. I love that for you. That's really great.
Right. So, what I'm saying is, I've been doing pretty good.
I love that.
So I've just been avoiding distractions, and law of attraction is real. So you got to just continue to just manifest what you want,
Yeah.
because the more you think about something, the more it happens, whether you
That's
like it or
true.
not. Oh, okay. But the more you think about something, the more it happens. You know what I mean? So you gotta, your mind is gonna put the energy that you want out there.
That's
so
true.
if you keep focusing on things that are not meaningful to your growth,
Right.
you're gonna attract people that's not meaningful to you. You're gonna
Amen.
have an energy where you're making excuses for yourself to be
Right.
better or to not do anything.
Right.
So
Love that. I love that topic. That's something that
Yeah.
I will further discuss in maybe another episode about, having certain friends around, that energy that you bring.
let me ask you a question.
Go ahead. Let me hear.
So what's one thing that you can thank yourself this year that you learned from last year as of right now? I know the year's still young.
As far as
What's something that
You learned from last year that I learned from last year that I'm thankful for.
yeah, like
in
what's a
this year.
lesson that you said like, hey, thank you, Nesha, for continuing to stick with what
Okay.
I'm doing and learning from whatever it is that you wanted to learn from last year.
Okay, so last year was a challenging year for me. Being in the program that I am in, it was a lot of transitioning. You know, graduate school is never like the best, but you know, with my spiritual growth that I'm working on, my spiritual journey, praying and even just believing and just working hard, what I learned last year more as I age is how important it is to don't have the thought, like never have the thought of giving up. Like never feel like because one door closes, like another door is not going to open. There's a plethora, true word. There's a plethora of doors that's going to open. There's numbers of chapters after this chapter closed. Like it's never ending, you know? And each year I teach myself to feel like that, but sometimes it doesn't pull through. But last year I was blessed beyond measures, and I have to thank a lot of people that were there to experience it with me and to even see all the changes that have occurred because I did not give up. And I kept faith. I'm very thankful that I kept the faith to keep pushing forward and not giving up. You know, everybody has their times when mentally they just feel like they're struggling, they're worried, they're anxious, they're depressed. There's a lot of feelings going on. But the feeling of knowing that faith is going to keep you through, that you have to push through, that you have to believe. If you believe, you achieve. That's the saying, right? So I feel like that's the one thing from last year, from 2023, that I'm going into 2024. And so far, 2024 has not let me down.
That's great.
So keeping the faith, and it's only February, so you never know what God has in store. What about you?
Bigger blessings are on the way.
Always. I'm always for bigger and better blessings. What about you?
Me, I would say, I mean, it was a lot, to be honest, but the number one that I thank myself for is not spinning back.
Spinning?
Like, we don't spin
Spin
back.
the block?
Yeah, like spin the block,
Why would
like
you
spin the
spin the
block, do anything the same.
I love that.
You know, we don't make the same mistakes.
Right.
We learn from our failures.
Yes.
We don't invite the same people to mess up
Amen.
something that we got going on
Yes.
because of they might be sorry or nothing like that. You know what I mean? So my biggest thing is not spinning back, meaning like I'm a guy that cares a lot.
Yeah.
So like I show a lot of support. I go on my way for people. So sometimes that can lead you into things where you're inviting different energies that are not welcoming your energy.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
and then when you start to realize that, that's when everybody's like, oh, I don't want to speak to him no more.
Yeah.
He's this, he's that. People paint a story though.
Yeah,
right?
they do.
So the story isn't, oh, I love this person anymore. The story is, okay, you figured me out. Now I gotta rewrite this chapter so I can continue to not take accountability and yada yada. So one thing I learned is like I know what I want, I know who I am, I know where I want to go. So I can't spin back on people because I once had a history with them, because I once loved them, or like I'm empathizing with them.
Yes, you are.
To the point where I understand why they do what they do.
Ooh, so. I love this for you. This is so new. How does it feel? Like, you know.
How does it work feel?
Because, you know, we've been friends since junior high school.
Except friends, best friends. Let's clarify.
Best friends. I'm sorry. We've been best friends since junior high school. So I don't want to say our age, but you know, we know each other. Wow, we know each other well.
You see these grades? I'm old.
Oh my God.
Go ahead.
We know each other well over 15 years. Right.
20.
Yeah.
About 19,
about 19, 20.
Yeah.
I was saying over 15, but I wasn't trying to tell you our age.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Jesus. But we know each other since junior high school. So we know each other. See, you talk too much. Next time you have to pay attention. But like I was saying, this is something that I've seen you struggle with a lot when it comes to people in general, not even like male or female, just people in general. And I'm glad to see that you have took the time to understand that that was an issue and to learn from that issue and to change it, to not repeat those same steps. We're doing 180s. We're not doing 360s. We're not doing a full circle. We're doing the 180s. We got to cut it, change it some way, somehow. Okay? That's what we're doing. We're only looking for the best nonetheless. Speaking of, how was your Valentine's Day?
I was working.
Yeah?
I was making money.
I
did B. Simone's show.
Oh, that's dope.
Day, so, you know,
Big top photographer.
First of all, can I say this on your show?
Sure.
There was so many baddies out there. Oh my God. I was like, can I say that on your show?
Yeah, you can.
Oh, okay. There was so many baddies out. First of all.
Okay.
For the fellas out there, let me tell you right now, get your money up.
Here we go.
Wear your best outfits to these events.
Here
you know what I mean?
go.
Just look, you know what I mean?
Here we go.
When you look good, you feel good. When you feel good, you do good. When you do good, they pay good, all right? So
That's true.
all the baddies were there. And I'm like, damn, I'm working on the clock. They was, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? I was seeing
But
someone.
at least you in those rooms. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
you
right.
in those rooms with these type of people.
And I met her manager. Her manager was cool.
Okay, that's cool.
She was very funny.
I love that. Shout out to B. Simone.
Shout out to B. Simone. Like, one thing I would say, just to be on that topic still, like, Instagram comedians are, like, I'm not going to say any names, but I'd seen 3 Instagram comedians do stand-up. And it didn't translate from skits to stand-up. You know what I mean? Like, you could be skit funny, but it's the difference between being skit funny and stand-up funny.
Yeah.
And I just think with her, compared to the other 3 that I saw, I'm like, yo, she's funny. Maybe it's because like all the time she did a Wildin' Out.
I always thought she was funny.
But like
I've seen her. I've actually been to Wildin' Out several times where I actually seen her live.
And she was funny on Wildin' Out?
She was always funny on Wildin' Out.
Right. So like you can tell like she, like I said, like I don't want to put no names out there.
Right.
You know what I mean?
You don't have to. You don't have to.
I seen the last 2 I seen, they was freestyling. They had no material.
Yeah.
They just went to roasting the crowd and they just was stumped. And they had a DJ playing all this music and all that stuff. And I'm like, where's the material? Like, where's the punchline? She came in there blazing from start to finish.
I love that.
A lot of jokes. And she freestyled, too, because there was a lot of people interacting with her in the crowd. And she was funny. Like, I'm talking about, like,
really
it's
funny.
hard for me to, like, make
No,
me laugh.
I know. Well, I know.
So I was like, yo, she's hilarious. So I give her props for that. Like, you could tell, like, she has so much... Like, you could tell, like, someone's skills is honed. And her skills was honed, like, you know. And then she ended it. You know, like how... We about to do the verse of the pod today. She ended her show with powerful affirmations. Like,
I love that.
She said a bunch of Bible verses, and she was basically like empowering everybody to not lead the same way that they came.
Yes, and I love that.
That's why I was mentioning it. Like, you know,
that was always my goal. If you listen into the podcast, even though we're talking about various things, but at least would want you to get something that can change you, that can help assist you in something.
Right.
And from what I've seen from her, especially like I just follow her on Instagram and certain things, even though she's like a powerful businesswoman, I love that about her. She's very spiritual. And that's something that I love about her. Like I watch her go down her spiritual journey. And when I see that, I get chills sometimes because, when you're anointed and you have an anointed on your life, you're going to excel, you're going to be the greatest that you can be, that you're destined to be. So I'm very happy for her. Shout out to B. Simone.
Shout out to her.
I'm very happy. I'm happy that you was even to be in that space, you know?
And it made me look at things differently too, because she was also saying like how she was, she's been sober.
Yeah.
And like she's been celibate and stuff like that. And honestly, it was like some of the things she said. I know I don't want to say too much because she's making her own special.
Yeah.
Tour,
You don't have to talk much. But she just said some things that just touch you in a different way.
Right. So I'm like, damn, like I want to now do something different. Like, I mean, I still have my vision, but I'm like, okay, it just makes me realize like, all right, time is ticking and we have to really do this while we're still
able to.
Right. Because, you don't want to be 40, like, oh, I should have did this when I was 30.
Yeah.
You don't want to be 50, like, oh, I should have did this when I was 40.
Yeah.
So, and then it's like, so for me, like, I'm trying to spend every day leaving differently than how I came in. You know,
that.
and it just shows you that we can do this.
Yeah.
You know? And that's what we hear.
Yeah.
That's why God pointed us to your first episode. That's why we're here together, like
Yeah.
you know, best friend to best friend. Like we're doing this.
Yeah, we
You know
are.
what I mean? So
We're doing this. We're gonna do the best we can, and touch whoever we can touch. But back to your Valentine's Day.
and I just want to say, like, she's rocking with the greatest, so that's why.
Here we go.
That's why
I think I'm the greatest one here. I think
we're both great in a different way.
I'm the greater one.
Okay.
Me. But it's okay. That's why, we can save that for a later time. But back to your Valentine's Day. I like how you segued away off of it. But you did enjoy your Valentine's Day at this amazing concert. Well, not concert, but amazing show.
It's a show. Yeah,
And you
for sure.
were taking photos.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Which will
great.
be out soon. I'm
Okay.
gonna drop my Instagram at the end of the show. But
Sure,
yeah,
no problem.
if y'all wanna check that out. But
Very proud of you.
no Valentine's this year. I mean, couple girls asked the kid,
And
and I said no.
because you were going to shoot B. Simone, you was gonna make some
Yeah,
money.
but then they still wanted, oh, you free on the weekend? We can still no.
Wow, that's
You know what, Snoop Dogg? I can't even say what I want. But you know, we just
Wow.
not we just staying.
So is it
our
like
focus.
you trying to go down this journey of being sober and celibate, so you don't want to deal with certain girls, or
I mean, my
that's
birthday coming up, so I don't know about the celibate
Ooh,
part.
wow.
But
as long as you're safe about it.
yeah. I mean, after my birthday now I can talk about that. You know what I mean? But for now,
I get it.
But
I get it.
I do want to go down that journey for sure though. That's something that I want to do this year. Like just get my health back in order with my losing weight,
Yeah.
being sober, being celibate,
Yeah.
and just staying focused. What about you?
Uh,
How was your Valentine's?
I worked, loved working. I had some meetings, so that was great.
Mm-hmm.
And then I went and got some drinks. I was supposed to go see the movie, but the movie was sold out. So I'm gonna see it over the weekend, if not next week. But I just had a drink with my best friend cousin. That's what I call her. And I just relaxed and played my PlayStation.
What game you play?
I played Uno Flip,
On the P4?
PS5.
Oh, fancy.
So I
Gotta
love
add
it.
me,
Uno,
though.
Uno Flip is the bomb. I'm at you. But I don't have you. That's crazy.
I don't know.
We
I
gotta
didn't
do
know.
better.
I didn't know you was on the P5.
Yeah, I'm on. Yeah. So I
Fortnite?
have Fortnite. I don't play Fortnite.
Okay.
I play.
2K?
I don't have the new one.
I could let you borrow mine.
Because of school, I haven't been able to be on my PlayStation. So this is the first time I actually played the game in I could say 6-7 months.
So basically, what I'm hearing is you was playing Uno Flip on Valentine's Day. So you was basically
With a drink in my hand.
and with a drink in your hand. So basically, you was skipping all the people that didn't, that you didn't want for the Valentine's Day, and you was reversing on what you was doing, and then you went and reversed again, and you was drawing 4 and drawing 2.
So on
And
Uno
ignoring
Flip,
everybody.
they do not have draw 4. Uno Flip is a draw 5 and a draw.
Okay, so
2
basically,
and a 1. But Uno Flip is
so you was
different.
like skipping. What I'm saying metaphorically though, you was skipping the people and not making them your Valentine. That's what you're saying. Because I didn't hear it.
No one
at all.
No one didn't ask me to be their
They
Valentine.
didn't.
No.
Oh.
And what I have noticed from men, I'm not mad about it. I've never really experienced a Valentine. I remember growing up, you would just give me a card and a teddy bear.
Mm-hmm.
And you used to just drop it off. That was just it. But I never experienced a real Valentine with a significant other.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what it's like to get these roses and go on a date and do all that stuff. I never experienced that. So this year it's just another year, So it's okay, it is what it is. I mean, I guess, every guy has their notion on Valentine's Day, right? What I've been hearing was because they don't celebrate Valentine's Day, men. This is so the guys, I'm going to say 80% of the guys that I spoke to, they all said the same thing. They don't really celebrate Valentine's Day. Of course, they think that Valentine's Day should be every day, so why should I celebrate one day? But they were just fixated on the part that, you know, they don't want to do anything, so they're not going to acknowledge it. So, yeah. I got maybe a couple of happy Valentine's Day, and that was it. I had a good day, though. It was a good day at work. It was a... No,
I'm saying snip, like...
Yeah, that was
cut,
it. Yeah, so
but
it is what it is, you know. I mean, I am single. It's not like I'm actually dating. I'm single and I'm not kind of mingling in a way. Nobody's like claiming that they're dating me. I talk to some people. I hang out with a couple people. I think they're cool and they're dope. But nobody has really said like, hey, let's take the next steps, you know? So it's okay. That's life though.
So basically, you know, you're just doing you.
Yeah, I'm just chilling, you know?
Yeah. And that's okay.
Chilling right now.
I feel like everything's supposed to happen when it's supposed to happen.
Right.
You know?
I just felt like the guys, some men are just in their own head. And I just feel like, you know, if you're talking to a girl and you consider them something, like you hang out with them, y'all talk, y'all do other things and whatever, not really date, but y'all go out. It should be a little consideration just to acknowledge the fact that this is somebody that you talk to. Just to,
for sure.
I even got that they're not even gonna say Happy Valentine's Day because they feel that if they're talking to somebody and they don't have nothing to give her tangible, it makes no sense to acknowledge it. So I had to let them know, like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm not like most girls. Let's get it straight. I am like a nerd on the side. I love watching anime. I love sports. You already know I love sports. Basketball is my favorite sports, and I used to hoop. We used to hoop together. I love watching like action adventures. I hate romantic comedies. I love cars. I have a hidden obsession for cars. Everybody knows that. I was driving since I was 13. So I'm not your average girl. Like, of course I'm a girly girl. I love to dress up. I love to look good. I love to feel good. However, I like to do other things. I like to chill. I like to watch a game. I like to play video games. Come on, 2K, Madden, like even FIFA. Let's talk about it. Like, so I'm one of those type of girls. So I feel like even if I'm talking to somebody, they should just know me. You know me,
right.
Not because you know me for years, but you know me. If you're talking to me, you should know me. You should know I don't care about tangible items.
Right.
But
what do you express what matters to you though?
I do, but I feel like as men, you guys classify all women the same because of what you've been through, because you've been attracted to the same woman, not the fact that you tried to look for something else. It's because every woman you had were the same. So you think, not you, but the general consensus, the guys is going to think I'm like the average woman that they've been with.
But if you say, right, like you're not like most girls, right, then shouldn't their notion to be different?
But I show that I'm different.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm like.
Yeah, I show.
If you are expressing what matters to you and you're showing that you're different, then are the people that you're dealing with the right ones for you?
Which is correct, right?
Right.
Because the way I see it sometimes, it affects you mentally, right? It makes you feel like, are you good enough? Are you worth it? Because what are they not seeing that you already know? Like, damn, I know I'm different, but why they keep classifying me as this? Maybe that's what they really want, and because I'm not like that, it's like throwing them off. Maybe. Or I could give an example. Like, I shot my shot at somebody, and the person said that I didn't miss. The person said that they were going to, piggyback. Then I haven't spoken to them. Then they went ghost. But the thing about it is I was one of those girls that asked, like, yo, you could tell me if I'm coming on too strong. You could tell me if I'm no, you're not. No, you're not. I like that. Like, I like what you're saying. But then go ghost. But then the thing about that person is what I later on realized was that I was too different.
In what sense?
Because, you know, when someone is used to a certain type of person, certain type of environment, um, you know, I'm a little different. Like, maybe because I know my worth. A lot of women, not to say that, you know, not to downplay women, but a lot of people in general do not know their worth. And they put themselves in certain predicaments because of that. And then mentally they become drained, or mentally they become withdrawn because of that, you know? And I'm one of the women that I kind of do know my worth. I know what I deserve. I know what I need. I know the difference between need and want. And I know what I'm going to accept. So there's certain things I'm not going to accept. And I feel like that can be intimidating to some men. Because they're used to girls that just, you know, I have dignity. There's just certain things I'm just not going to do. Certain places I'm not going to go. Certain people I'm not going to hang out with, you know? So I feel like that's what that is. So my Valentine's Day was somber. I had a good time, though. I just think about it mentally, like mentally how I was affected. And that just brings me into like my mental health minute that I wanted to talk about. In my mental health minute on my podcast, we're just going to talk about various issues, problems, situations. I know a lot of mental health professionals that you guys will be seeing coming on my pod soon. They're going to discuss anything, all range of type of fields in the mental health field, especially when it comes to Black or African American, Afro-Caribbean, because we are of Jamaican descent. Different races, of course. I'm very broad. We're also gonna have a small topic on the LGBTQ community. One of my close friends, she's a mental health professional that works with them, and she's also a part of the community, and she does really great work in that community and other communities. So that's great. She will be talking about it. But mentally, I'm more focused on that, because how are we supposed to get through if we're not mentally healthy? You know?
True.
We have to think about what's important for us and not what everybody else sees, right? So in that moment, mentally, I'm working on being more emotionally available.
That's a big word.
Big word for me, you know. I was always told that I shut people out. Ice cold. Is it that ice cold? I don't think it's that ice. I think it's melting a little bit. There's a little crack. There's a little crack. No? Not in a little bit? I think I'm doing better.
Yeah, you're doing better.
I think I'm doing better.
Still cold though.
Why
She's
am I
doing
cold?
better. She's doing
Why
better.
am I cold?
I'm just messing.
I'm not that cold.
Not that cold anymore.
Not that cold. I just feel like, you know, everybody goes through their experience in relationships. And some people, especially, you know, life makes you go crazy. But mentally, when it comes to relationships, it takes a big toll on your everyday life, especially when you're transitioning from being in a relationship to being single, and then having to do things now that you were used to doing with somebody else on your own.
So what's one thing that you're not going to put up with in your new relationship? And what's one thing that you would say, like, what's a green flag that you're looking for, like when you're talking to somebody new, that is, or it could be someone current?
Anybody that I'm talking to, the green flag?
Like, you can name one green flag, too, if you want.
It's funny, right? Good teeth. I love a good smile. That's a green flag, because at least I know that you have good hygiene. You know? If you take time and work on your teeth, I know you have good hygiene. I love that, right? Another green flag is the spiritual life. I don't need a minister. I don't need like a bishop. I don't even need like a chaplain. You know, I would like to be around someone that acknowledges who God is, right? And praise. Or even, we don't have to even go to church often, you know, like, or they don't have to be a church person, but at least they acknowledge who God is, and they pray, or they have faith. The little things matter, because we can build our faith together if that's what they want to do. But that's a green flag. Another green flag is someone that could take the time to talk.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. Talk, text. If we can have a conversation, that's like my favorite. I'm a communication specialist. That's my thing. So those are green flags in relationships.
And what's one red flag that you're not gonna deal with? Like you wouldn't put up with.
So
you can just name one. You don't gotta go into detail. You can just name one.
Okay, my most infamous one that I'm not putting up with at all is the hygiene.
Okay.
I'm not putting up with it. There's no way. No, there's a lot. I have a lot of red flags, and I see them. But one thing about it, hygiene.
So you was like talking to somebody that was like bad hygiene?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Really bad. Like, I don't want to get too graphic, but
no. Like we just
it was to the point where, like, if he was using the bathroom, and I was like, he come out the bathroom. When you walk out the room, your scent lingers. It was one of those. So, and it was like, what are you using to shower? What are you using, Yeah, that's like the thing. But, like I realized down the road he had a lot of mental anguish that he was dealing with.
Also, like he was just like...
He had a lot of things that he was dealing with. So things weren't as important than other things. Like some people could go days without showering because they have to get up to go to work and come
like
back.
White people?
Some white people, because that's okay. That's what was said, I guess. Okay.
Not like
stats.
Like some white people like.
They say they only shower like 2-3 times a week.
Don't use washcloths.
A lot of them don't use washcloths. That's
what I'm saying. That's what,
like a lot of them don't use washcloths. We call them rags. They call them washcloths, but they don't use them. And they use bar soap as a washcloth. But yeah. So now it's just, I think working on my mental will be better for me while I'm in this process or this journey. Mm-hmm. And working on my mental considers becoming more self-aware of me being emotionally unavailable. I'm working on it. I'm taking steps. I'm seeking a therapist. And that's one of the hardest parts when you want to become mentally healthy, So
how does that, not to cut you off though, but how does that work though?
How does
like
what work?
A therapist within a therapist.
So a lot of therapists have therapists. So a lot of counselors have their own counselor. Like, it's a journey. Like, once you become a therapist, of course, you're going to be taking on a lot of other people's situations, right? Mm-hmm. And as a therapist, you work on interventions that can help them, right? Some solutions, providing guidance, some advice. And in my profession now, that's something similar to what I do now. So while I'm in school, finishing my degree in counseling, it's something that I'm learning to get comfortable with, right? While I'm in this process, this journey now, a lot of things are attacking me mentally. Sometimes I'm anxious. I have my depressive moments. I've been diagnosed with seasonal affective disorder, which is seasonal depression, and I have OCD. So it's a tough road sometimes. A lot of things tick me off. A lot of things I'm short fused because of my OCD. And then during certain holidays or during times of the year, I get a little, Mm-hmm. So as a professional, it's still going to affect me because I'm going to be anxious because I have 10 patients to see tomorrow. And I have to make sure I'm mentally ready besides what's going on at home. Maybe something is going on at home. And, so that's where the point comes in where you seek some help. And it's always good to have somebody else because, it doesn't have to be a colleague. Of course, it cannot be a colleague because ethically that's wrong. That's wrong. But once you find somebody, they can give you the advice to get through your journey or get through your workday. Like, especially as a counselor, when you may have a patient that, some is beyond your control of what you can do to help with them. Or you may have a patient that's probably a little harder to break through, but you need some guidance. Counselors are always good. Therapists is always good to just talk. Of course, you can't talk about your patients, of course.
Right.
But just the idea of what next steps can be done to help you get the best intervention for your patients. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So call Niche, right? Call Niche if you need a therapist. There's many ways that you can find therapists. They have psychology.com. They have different ventures where you can look. ZocDoc is a good one. They have black psychologists as well. I know a lot of people wants to be familiar with people that, especially when they go and seek counseling, somebody can understand them, somebody they can relate to. And there are a lot of black counselors. I wouldn't even tell people to just go short of just psychologists. You know, mental health counselors are really great. You know, they specify in counseling itself, and they're really great. Some social workers are really great as well. I'm not saying that psychologists aren't great, but I would say, you know, try to venture out because you never know what works for you, and don't stick to one. If the one person, you take a test run, try a different one to find what works for you. If you're a female and you rather a male, or a male rather the female, or whatever you fit. They have spiritual counselors if you want somebody that can pray with you before your session or after your session or feed you positive information spiritually. They have that as well. You know, they have spiritual and Christian counselors. There's a variety of them. By next podcast, I'll have a full list, or I can put it up on my YouTube. Or I could put it up on my Instagram, and everybody can get a list from there. So that's that. So call Niche if you need a therapist or a counselor. Mental health is very important to me, and it should be important to everybody. So everybody's going to be in my journey of becoming emotionally available. Available. I'm working on it. It's getting there. There's steps that I'm taking. I'm learning how to...
Steps to success.
Yes, I'm learning how to be more open. I'm learning how to accept things that I cannot change.
It's a big one.
That is a big one. Accepting things you cannot change is very big. And it takes a toll mentally too, because I have to prepare myself to know that this is something I cannot change. So, and then another thing about me being emotionally available is willing to give somebody a chance. You know, I have commitment issues.
Don't we all?
We all have commitment issues. It's a thing.
Yours is bigger than mine. For sure.
Wow, put me out there on Jump Street.
Sorry,
Mine's is really that bigger than yours. Do you feel that way?
Absolutely.
It is.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Yeah, because I've been single longer than you.
How long have you been single?
5 years.
No way. 5 years?
5 years in July makes 5 years. So it's 4.5 years, but we're in the 5th year because it's 2024 and it was 2019.
Okay,
so it's 5 years.
Yours is worse, for sure.
It's okay though. 'Cause I've learned so much. I've grown so much in the 5 years. You know, I'm, sooner or later in a couple of years, I have a DR before my name. So, you know, it's, you know, I've accomplished a lot in
for sure.
5
Absolutely.
years.
Absolutely.
Look where we at. Episode 1 of Call Niche.
Speaking of that.
Yes.
She's going to do a thing, you know, before the show, at the end of the show, where she's going to do the verse of the pod. And now is the very first verse of the pod that she's willing to do. So here we go.
Let's be going to
What's the verse of the pod for your
So,
very first episode?
The segment of the verse of the pod. Today's verse for the first of the pod is one of my favorite scriptures. Philippians 4 verse 13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. That's one of the scriptures that I learned from a very young age when I used to do karate, and it was Samway, where he mixed spiritual and martial arts together. And that was one of the scriptures that he told us to keep empowered, that no matter what, if we fall, we get back up, right? No matter what, we can do anything that we put our mind to because we trust and believe in God through Christ who strengthens us. He gives us the strength. He gives us the power. He gives us the will to push through. So we should always believe that no matter what, we trust in him and he can give us the strength. He said that he wants us to do exceedingly abundantly. He's going to give us exceedingly abundantly anything we could ever dream, think, or imagine, you know? So I wanted to end it with that, to remember that, you know, believe in God, trust in him. He will give us the strength to prosper because we are always righteous. Amen, right? Amen. So as you go into this week, I just pray that everybody finds the strength and the courage, and allow them to be open to the wisdom that is going to be bestowed on their life. Thank you guys for tuning in. Call Niche. So you can follow me on Instagram at Call Niche If, and you could subscribe to my YouTube at Call Niche If. There's more that will be coming soon, but thank you guys for tuning in. Wasn't it good?
It was great, and I'm honored to be your first guest, and I'm honored to be on your show, and expect many more great things to come from this and to come from her.
Amen.
And I wish you
Love
nothing but the best for the 2024 and beyond. And I am honored to be your best friend. And if you don't know, call Niche.
Call Niche.